again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the full-time show. Town have done it. Delivered a win again. They've beaten a top six rival. They're now sitting in 8th place, 2 points outside those playoffs. Doncaster currently sitting in 6th, Hull in 3rd. So they've done it. A fantastic win. Quite nervy towards the end, I'm sure you'd agree, but there we go. Is it too early to start singing EIO? I don't know. Let me know. There's so many different talking points we could take tonight's show. And I'm really excited to see just where you, as the fan base, take this show and what you really are feeling. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you think. Has Lambert in this past week changed the narrative on himself? Is he coming out the other side and possibly changing your opinion of him? Are the playoffs still on? I don't know. You let me. 2 points away. Are they still an achievable thing? If they are, do you feel more confident about being in the playoffs now? You're beating 2 top 6 sides. You should feel more confident. New owners. Brett Johnson liking the tweets. Are you excited? Let's know on that. As always, I'm joined by 2 wonderful contributors in Mr. Milk Tray Ben Adams and Mr. Joker, Uncle Sam, Adam Flatt. Before I ask your 2 opinions, we've got Joe Dickinson, Lambert in. Beers tonight. Yes, Rabbit Man. It's pints and points. Pints and points. Absolutely. Sterling G. Good performance. Didn't rush things. Focused more on defending and pushing on the counter. Cruncher. Excellent for 70 minutes. But the subs had no impact. Drinnan and Sears equals Dreers. Love you, Lambert. Long time, Paul, that is. Bless my mind. Plough's still on, but I'm not putting my mortgage on it. Has this man rewritten the history? Is he going to come out the other side of this and stick 2 fingers up at us all, Adam Flatt?
Who knows? I don't know. That was... do you know what, actually? Doncaster pretty toothless up top, I thought. I had a better striker, maybe. I think we might be having a very different conversation this evening. But for all their possession, and it was a little bit nervy, I didn't ever think we looked like we would concede. The goal that they scored was do I have it right that was a tackle that sent him away to score their
tackle by Downs in behind Ken Lockyer, just fallen asleep it seemed. And that's always been Ken Lock's sort of weakness, defending. Yeah. He's always been a good player going forward.
They were building up a bit of steam.
It was a good game, Adam. We played bloody well, man.
It was good. We dug in. I think you've got to give the goalkeeper in the back 4 a lot of credit today. I thought they did. I thought James Wilson was very good. Him and Enciala were good. They won everything in the air pretty much. I think they tackled well. I do agree with Cruncher. I think there was a point. I think when Edwards and Downs came on, that we just couldn't make the ball stick. Every time it went forward, it just came straight back towards us, and eventually pressure told. But I would say, like I said earlier, had Doncaster had a better striker, we might be having a different conversation. But they didn't have a good striker, and we've won. So,
no,
hey ho.
They did not. Vince Bird, last half hour was awful. Down Drew in that midfield. I think, Ben, in this instance, you've got to say, do you know what? Doncaster, they are chasing a game. They are also here to win a game. They're professionals. They're paid money the same way our guys are. They changed their tactics, and perhaps credit to them.
I totally agree. I think Doncaster are a really concise, good passing team. And I think even if we'd not had the substitutions, they would have done pretty similar to what they've done to us, because then the players on the field are getting tired. I've got a different perspective on the substitutions. I don't think they were made to make us be any better or try anything different. We've got a lot of games coming up, and I don't want to see, for example, Norwood or Judge get injured when they're actually playing, especially Judge playing really well. If he stays on for the 90 and he picks up that knock in the 88th minute, he's been arguably one of our best players for the last 4 or 5 games, consistent. So I actually think it was both a tactical substitutions for the game, as far as we're winning, and now it's the right time to not change it about to hopefully keep control of the game, but also with an eye to the games coming up, because we've got some tough games coming up. But my heart was in my mouth for 15 minutes. And that alone, I think, sort of and it was, I've been reading all the socials, but doesn't that alone tell you like how we feel about this all now? Yeah. Whereas 5 or 6 games ago, we were losing 1-0, we needed a goal. No one could give a shit. And even when we were scoring, myself included, I thought, oh, well, we're going to go down. But now I'm sitting here just going backwards and forwards. Isn't that a good sign of where we are right now?
We said just before we went live, didn't we? Because we put you on the screen and I said, we've done it. And you were like, it's not over yet. I was like, no, we've got it. I was confident. You were still biting your nails. Mark Dowling,
for too long.
great win. Players playing without fear in a system. Lambert never believed we could play for nearly 3 seasons. Sterling G. Negatives, though, what has happened to Flynn? Yeah, he's a player out of form at the moment. Yeah, I do agree. Matt Stannard, love that cruncher. Obviously, a comment earlier in the chat. Christopher Martin, bit reckless that tackle facing his own goal. Russell Claydon with a fantastic point. Where was that? It was there. One with 26 possession, according to iFollow. Lambert has turned his back on playing to please Evans and is reaping the rewards. Absolutely. You know, this is a different team.
Yeah,
Facebook. This is a fit team, though. We always said when he got fit, when he got Norwood Black fit, we always thought we had Jackson with him, but Norwood really has, to his credit, Ben, changed this team.
No, I'll concede that. And as I sort of said earlier, I was really stinging on Norwood for lots of different reasons, and I went overboard on that, and that was wrong of me. Maybe I should be a bit more thoughtful in saying, okay, well, he's made bad decisions both on and off the pitch, but maybe there's room to say, okay, so I want a better person, so maybe it's time to go out and prove that. So I'm really happy.
I love opinions. I love them. And we're going to get some of the fan base opinions soon. But first of all, before I do, I just want to say a huge thank you to all that support us on the Ko-Fi. A huge thank you to all. Thanks to you, we've accomplished so much. We've helped, obviously, me to create content that you all seem to really enjoy, hopefully. We've upgraded StreamYard to give you all more of a chance to have your say, copyright free music. We've done the homeless shoeboxes, the Suffolk Mind. We've helped some small businesses to grow. So really together, through this pandemic, we've created a little community and I'm really proud of it. And I really do thank you, every single one of you that watches me, that tunes into us, that watches us, that supports us and helps us through what is a difficult time. And there's some little graphics on the screen right now just to say a huge thank you to every single person who does contribute to us. I honestly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. I really do. Right, there's a link in the chat. Let's bring on, first and foremost, beat Jimmy Bullard, the man, the myth, the legend. We can't afford the real one, but we got him instead. How you doing, pal?
I'm all right.
Bow down to your king.
No, he's out. Still out. Sorry. His attitude just puts me off. Even looking at that now makes me sick. I don't. Like I said, we could bring this to anyone. I don't mind. Yeah. I just don't like his attitude. His attitude sucks to me.
He's just got 6 points from 2 top 6 sides.
No. The reason he gets wins now and again, I don't like him either. You've got to have a certain balance. He's having arguments with players. He's having he's having arguments with fans. And now he has a couple of wins. What? Everything's forgotten? No, I'm sorry. If I have an argument with my missus, yeah, and I buy her a present, do you think she's still forgiven me? No, she hasn't. She actually bought me a mug. Talking Town mug. I'm well chuffed.
Very nice. Good man. But I tell you what, you say that. I know about Mrs. getting, getting it twisted. Last night, mine wasn't too happy because I was showing over half an hour. But this is not a relationship, Steve. He's here to win games. I want to see my team win football matches. He's doing that.
I agree with that. I have no problem with him winning. I just don't think, at the end of the day, this club's got to heal. Yeah? There's been a lot going on over the past few years. This club's got to heal. And he's the leader of all this. The players can do their bit on the pit field. He's not on the field. Yeah, he didn't win that game. The players won that game. Yeah, he set it up. Doesn't mean you can set it up all you like. The way I looked at that team today, and the way I looked at the opposition, they were playing exactly like we were at the beginning of the season. High presses. They were passing from the back. High presses. The amount of times they lost that ball in their half, yeah, to our players pushing on when they were passing it around was just like us at when we were going through that passing at the backstage. And we've changed that now to this, direct play. I don't want to say a long ball because direct isn't always long ball. It's getting it forward quicker, and that suits the players better. And I just
who's changed it?
Yeah, we don't know. We're assuming he changed.
No. We do. Say his name.
Because we don't know. We don't know. He's not at a meeting with Marcus Evans, and Marcus said, "Look, you either change something or you're out." Were you there?
Stuart, come in and tell me, come on, who has made the change in the way we play?
I'm saying the players have changed. I'm saying the players actually won it today.
Who won't have it?
This is madness.
He'll be manager of the month this month.
These players are playing better than they were 2 months ago. They're just physically playing better. Yeah, some of them. Yeah, probably all of them. I wouldn't say that anybody put a foot wrong today. You know, I think Bishop was a bit dodgy, but you know, he did his bit. I think everybody played well. Yeah, and that's not on the manager because he's not a coach. Everyone knows he's not a coach. He can't make these players suddenly play better. He's definitely not a man motivator. Half the players who played for him don't like him. You know,
so what you say? If you say Lambert has no credit for the win, he has no control over if we lose.
Well, in some respects, he does. Because a lot of the times we've lost for a reason. Yeah, whether he's played the wrong players in the wrong or the wrong system. And that's his job.
Okay, appreciate you as always, Stephen. I really do appreciate your point. It's a very interesting one. I think it's one that the fan base will share. And Stuart, where do you sit on that comment there? If you say Lambert has no credit for the win, he has no control over if we lose.
It's just how it's just the stubbornness that he has in him. It all comes down to the stubbornness. Like, yeah, we got no control if we lose and stuff like that. But to me, the players went out there, they performed. They now know something's up. Something is up, and something's going. I'm not.
Can you imagine if he wins Manager of the Month? He
bloody will as well with Kenlock as player of the month.
Oh, but I'll come round there and burn that poster in a minute.
Amazing scenes if that happens. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I've received my rightfully so a lot of flack for that poster. So trust me, when a man gets it right, the fucking thing's coming out on a regular basis. All right, because he's been getting dust for the last couple of months. Let's be honest.
With Lambert, right? You're going to have a lot. That's going to be the debate, right? What do we do with him when he gets it right? Because we spent so long of him getting it wrong. And I say, I'm sorry, if you're man enough to destroy him when he gets it wrong, you've got to be man enough to say that he'd actually done okay when he gets it right. He got it right 4 or 5 games ago, and I said that was down to him, that match. I got pillory for it. And then he went right back to it the match afterwards. But I think he got it right today. I think he kept the same team. We've been keeping clean sheets. We've been playing players in their right positions. You could think of 1 or 2. That doesn't just happen in the ether. I do think he deserves some of the praise today. And look, he will go. You could actually argue that Paul Cook's incoming, and he's such a good manager. He actually makes our team better before we've even employed him. I mean, there's always that kind of take on it. Yeah. But with Lambert, look, I love Ipswich more than I hate Lambert, which means that you have to bring him up when you praise the team as well. So I would say, well done, Lambert. Have a beer tonight. Well done, the team. Have a beer tonight. It's a good day. It's a good day. The hate's all going to go. That's all going.
Enjoy the win. You don't have to like Paul Lambert to enjoy a win tonight. So,
Stuart, right. I really appreciate you, Stuart. I really do. I want to bring in Yatesy, who is one of the businesses I hope this podcast has really helped over the last couple of months. Welcome in, Yatesy. Oh, your webcam's not on. Try and come back to us. I'll bring in. Who is that beautiful man sat there? Look, the Cruncher. Crunch. What do you make of this one here? Look, 1 defeat in 7. Only 4 goals conceded in that time. 10 points at the top 2 of the game in hand. Time for everyone in the club to get behind whoever is in charge. And let's make it a real go of this. We know who's in charge, though, don't we?
It's such a bollocks, Martin. It's such a bollocks. If we lose, everyone comes in here and blames the manager. And then when we win, we don't give him any credit. It's such a fucking nonsense.
They still blame the manager.
It's nonsense. He got blamed. He got blamed the other week, boys, when the game at Shrewsbury was cancelled because of a frozen pitch, for fuck's sake.
Sorry.
You know? He set them up well. The players have got to take some of the credit, but the manager, you have to praise the manager. Like I said to the fisherman the other night, and he wasn't having it. I'm hoping he's on here tonight because we have to praise Paul Lambert.
Do it.
He's been called out.
Paul Lambert. He's
been called out. Someone in the chat has said, get Mike Brown on this show so he can try and tell us why it's not Paul Lambert. So, Mike, if you're listening, if you're watching, where are you, son? Where are you? But you're all right, Crunch. You're all right.
Yeah, it swings both ways.
It does. Not Nathan Cut. Clueless. I'm by far the biggest fan, but you've got to give him credit. Absolutely. How did you feel the game went today then, Crunch? Second half, bit nervy as Ben was thinking, or were you always confident?
I agree with Ben about obviously we had to make subs because of we've got a lot of games coming up. But I know you're not his biggest fan, Martin. I thought when Dazelle went off, we couldn't get hold of the ball. Downs come on, didn't really get in the game. The two, Matt Phillips tweeted, I don't know if you've seen the group, diarrheas they're called, Sears and Drennan, because they're National League. You've got
Drennan's not a good footballer, is he?
No.
You've got Parrott and Norwood, who I thought played really well. Look, Troy Parrott, I know what you say. You want your striker to score goals. He runs his absolute socks off. Shut up, fella. Shut up. Look at him.
He's just seen Drennan outside.
Yeah, and I thought once they took them two off, we couldn't get hold of the ball, could we? And I agree with Ben. Doncaster are probably the best side I've seen us play this season.
Yeah,
I thought they knocked the ball around really well. And look, they were playing it out from the back. There was a couple of dodgy times when the goalie had it, he passed it across his 6-yard. But I really enjoy watching them play football. And I think we have to say this is probably our best victory of the season. Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. And
today was the watermark. You could say that last week was a fraud, and it was a one-off. Sorry, a misnomer. But to do it twice on the trot, that's completely different. That's actually something happening. So I agree with that.
Simo, he didn't have a lot of involvement from the sidelines today. It was Gill and Walker. I saw someone else say this, and it's almost like these comments after the game a couple of weeks ago, Crunch. It's almost like, shit, he's won. We have to find something to needle him with, because otherwise, do you know what I mean? It feels like we're just trying to have a go for the sake of it.
He could have run on that pitch and scored a hat-trick, Lambert. And we'd have said, it's only the 10 men around him, so he's shit. Yeah, absolutely right. You've got to have it both ways. And his assistants were. But do you know what? I want to see that from your assistants. I want to see that voice. And look, fair enough. You've got to give him credit today. And it bloody hurts to say it. Not going to lie.
49 points, my friends. 49 points. Welcoming Josh. Yeah, absolutely. Josh, we're sitting in 8th position. 2 points off Doncaster. The game's coming up, looking favourable in my opinion. What do you think about it all?
I mean, yeah, there's still chances, isn't there? I don't agree that it was Lambert.
Okay, tell us why.
I said last week and Tuesday that Taylor's not there, and I feel like he plays a massive part in Lambert's decision to perform and the way we play. And the fact he's not been there for the last 3 games, and we get 7 points from him. And I feel like the players may be playing for their contract, not necessarily for him.
Playing for the contracts, playing for him. It's all while he's the manager, Crunch. It's all sort of irrelevant, isn't it? He's the manager, so when we win, he gets the plaudits.
Of course he does. I don't want him to come out though and spoil it tonight with some of his comments, because we know what our fan base are like, and if he'll say something, everyone will jump on him. Let's just all enjoy the victory. You know, we've won 2 games on the trot. We're going to Atkinson on Tuesday. That's another game I think we can win. We shouldn't be scared of anybody in this league. Look, we've probably beaten, like I said, Ben, I think Doncaster are they're the best team I've seen us play this season.
By far.
Easily.
And we've beaten them. And it was like, look, it was the last 15 minutes, it was a bit hairy, but you have to give them credit because they're a good football side. So we sat in, we dug in, and they didn't really have many chances, did they? I know Bogle up front didn't really have his best game, and we can all say if they had a proper striker instead of him. But look, Wilson and Enciala, they've come in for some criticism as well. They've played really well again. Kenlock's played well. Even, look, Luke Chambers. Is anyone moaning about him tonight? No, he's not.
Yeah, it's the lack of people that are mentioning him, which is quite telling. You're quite right.
Exactly.
How about Alan Judge then, Josh? Because a player that has received some criticism, a wonderful free kick, a wand of a free kick. What did you think about him today? Because I thought, actually, this is probably Alan Judge's most overall well-rounded game.
Yeah, no, he's done well recently, to be fair, Judge. Even though he's been out of position, he's still done okay, I think. Yeah, the free kick was insane.
Yeah,
see, there's a good comment. There's a good comment there, Martin, about the players, about Lambert. What was he saying there?
Most of the players still...
There you go. So they're still obviously playing for the manager, aren't they? Let's be fair.
Must be.
100%. All right, Josh, bring Lee in. Lee, welcome in. Right, we've got Stanley, Gillingham, Lincoln, Plymouth, Fleetwood, Portsmouth, Wigan. Look, March is looking bloody tasty all of a sudden.
It's a winnable games there.
Lee, have you had a haircut?
One game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have. The wife did that. It's not bad.
You're going to get... Hang on, you can get a top knot on there, really. I think you can just get a top knot on the back.
Yeah, I could do. I'll grow it a bit for you.
You can get one of them, them stick-on ponytails that Rodney had in Only Fools and Horses. You get one of them.
Yeah, I'm scared of rats, mate. No, I'm one of them.
Some winnable games there, Lee. March is looking good.
Still one game at a time, isn't it? I know it's the old cliche, but, we've turned things around a bit, haven't we? Because we've got some players up top, haven't we? I'm going to say it again, but, Norwood up top. But Parrott today, the way he held the ball a lot and his work and off the ball was sublime, some of that. And you can tell that there's a difference in class there, isn't it? Because the ball's sticking to him all the time. And that was very, very noticeable. But going back to like Lambert and that, really, I'd just like to say that, and I was on here a week or so ago, almost slipped my wrists. I was about to walk off the pier. And, sometimes with managers, you're not always in control of the players that you can put on the pitch. And we've now got players. He's brought some more players in, and he's got to have some credit. Is he wonderful? No, he's still a miserable bastard, isn't he? He doesn't help himself with his press conferences. I said before, he's like Dalglish, just trying to be too clever, too miserable. But it's amazing what a couple of results can do. It can buoy people. I think they've always played for the manager. I think they've always been tightly knit. All this sort of stuff with the ears and that, and sounding out the boo boys. I think they've always been together. They just haven't had that little bit of quality, and they've got that now. And let's see where it takes us.
Another thing with Lambert is these people, and you're quite right what you say. These people that have come in, like Parrott, who went and got them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who went and got them?
Yeah, absolutely. So. You
have to credit the owner there as well. You have to credit the owner there, Ben, as well, because he's playing these loan fees.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but it's coming out of the 2.5 million, isn't it? So it's still there to be had. He's still got to fund that, but he's got to do something. But he's not coming up with the money to buy players, is he? So
yeah.
But I've always said you're asked to win Formula 3 in a go-kart. And when you get a little bit more and you get a go-kart that's got a little bit of an engine in it, you can do a little bit. But, the difference was today, we rode our luck, didn't we? We rode our luck. They should have scored. The Enciala clearance, that hit Enciala, he didn't get in the way of it. He kicked that at him.
They all count, Lee.
That's a great point.
They all count. They all, whether it's a kick or a deflection. But what do you make of this point here, Lee? Could it be Jackson and Nolan being exiled has been a positive thing?
I like
Maybe they, I think he means was, or she means was, a negative attitude in training, etc. Do you think actually, as fans, we're a bit upset, but in reality, Nolan and Jackson being exiled has been a good thing on this squad? What do you feel on that?
Nah, it's just timing. I don't agree with that. They're all professional footballers, and they will get on. I don't know why Jackson's been exiled. To be fair, he needs to be in the squad, doesn't he? Because we aren't going to win. We aren't going to win these games every week, holding on with Drillingham playing up front because we've got no outlet. There's no pace.
There will be games we need to win rather than keep we actually need to get a goal back. And Drillingham and Hawkins ain't going to do it. So at some point, he's actually got to sit down with Jackson and say, "Look, okay, I've made my point. Whatever it is you've done, we don't know what it is. Don't do it again." But we're going to need you now. Are you up for it? Because, if we need a desperate point, that last game that will get us in the playoffs, I may be speaking in fantasy here, it ain't going to come from Drinnan, it ain't going to come from Hawkins. So that's got to be managed, and it's got to be managed fairly soon.
Aaron, the goat
that cross that Drinnan did at the end has just landed in my back garden.
That's what Conscious Dog was barking at.
What a load of shit that was, huh? Honestly. And this is the thing about intelligence, Martin, football intelligence. He could have held that ball and he could have run the time down and he could have just stuck it in the corner. Instead, he wellies the ball into orbit across North Ipswich.
Yeah, that's closer to the Perseverance rover than it is to us now.
You just think of like 10, 15 minutes. You just think of like 10, 15 minutes to go. If you could bring someone on like another Norwood or a Parrott, you actually hold the ball again. The ball was just coming back, wasn't it? We couldn't chase them down. We were hanging on a bit, but it's another win, and you've just
against a top six side. I mean, these are not just 2 wins on the bounce. This is 2 wins against a top 6 side. We haven't done that in 2 years. You wait forever for one, and then 2 come along at once. I mean, these are
the monkey off the back, isn't it?
He changed the formation again today, didn't he? He did change it again slightly. That was, I think, last couple of games it's been that sort of 1 and then 3 in behind.
Yeah.
He went 4-4-2 because Doncaster played the ball wide. He did change it. It was a proper 4-4-2 today. And I made a note here. It just shows that all those comments before when Lambert was saying that we're crap with 4-4-2, what he actually meant was we can't control the ball at 4-4-2. I always think that's what he said and what he meant, because we can't get out. 4-4-2 is very difficult to get out sometimes, especially when you haven't got the outlet up top. But, let's just see where it takes us.
What do you put the recent upturn of form to, Lee? Would you put it to a formation change? Would you put it to a form, a players coming in? What do you, as a fan, put the recent upturn in form to?
Well, it's Parrott coming in and it's Norwood coming back, and Lambert has finally changed the formation. Maybe 20 games or 10 games too late, maybe, because the system we had at the start of the season was poor, wasn't it? We had the 3 up top, but as I said the other day, the wingers are really wide, aren't they? And Hawkins, for all his failures, he's there to win the ball, but no one around him. Every time the ball goes to Norwood, you can see Parrott is around him, Judge is floating around. And I said in the pre-match game, Parrott, Norwood and Judge are starting to click together, and they made the difference again today. And I think that's the upturn in form. It's got nothing to do with American owners. That's all. I don't believe that at all. It's all about getting the right players in and getting them to gel, and it's now starting to work. That's my view.
And do you think, when he says about 4-4-2, do you think actually it doesn't matter what formation you played with Sears and Drennan? Because we went through a period of time, Crunch, when Sears and Drennan were our front 2, for fuck's sake.
That's depressing, thinking it. I think look, it's also a game of very small margins, because you think the other night, look at the chance Hull missed when 1-0. Mate, he missed it from 8 yards. Should have scored, put it wide. Today, like Lee said, the one that hits Toto, if that goes in, it's 1-0. It's a totally different game. But it's in this league, it is very small margins, because the only time we've really been turned over was when we played these lads away, wasn't it? At Doncaster, we lost 4-1. All these other games, they're really tight. And it's like we scored the second goal was at a real good time, not long into the second half, and then 2-0. But look,
Could have been 3, couldn't it?
You can say that, Adam, about a lot of games this year, like Sunderland away, for example. Lancaster, glorious chance, blazes it, and then it goes horribly wrong from that point. There's several games throughout the year where our luck's not gone for us. And as Honest Abe, welcome in Honest Abe, first-time viewer, I think, we all seem to be getting the little breaks now. It's about time, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was looking the other day. I don't think we've had a penalty this season, have we? I don't think we've actually been awarded a penalty. You know what's going to happen, Martin, don't you? Last game of the season, we need a win. We get a penalty. Hawkins, he's the only striker we've got on the pitch. Blasts it into the net, takes us into the playoffs.
Jesus.
And then we can say adios to him.
And there it goes. And also, just to touch on what Lee said, if Lee understands what Lambert's saying, maybe Lee should be down there when he's doing his press conferences. So Paul Lambert will say something, and then they'll turn to Lee and say, "Can you just translate that for us, Lee? What the fuck he's talking about?"
Google Lambert translate.
Absolutely.
He's like Dalglish, isn't he? He just keeps he doesn't help himself with that, does he? He doesn't help himself with that at all, and
really
people will jump on that. But I'd just like to say to Crunch, as he was quick to tweet me. I was waiting for it when Judge put that free kick in. I've been saying all season, we've not looked like scoring from a free kick already.
We haven't. I agree with you.
We haven't. And as soon as we've got the American football in, and we're cheering on these balls that go over the crossbar for a field goal, all that sort of thing.
PATs.
It's all great stuff.
But football, wasn't it? We changed half the team and went on to totally different tactics. It's like the NFL, for Christ's sake. It's like put all your linebackers in and swap over everything. I love it.
Special teams.
Absolutely. Let's bring Sid in.
I'm just worried.
Link is in the chat. If you want to come on?
I'm just worried about keeping the weight off Norwood, because finishing all his dinners at the moment. Any credit?
He is, isn't he? But then again, so was Kenlock when he come back. He come back a stone overweight, and I'd argue it's the best he's ever played.
Well, he's playing
packing in the burgers if that's what's going to make you score the goals.
What's it apparently is so I read on Twitter or saw on Twitter. Sid, welcome in. If my brother ate whale meat during World War II, there he is. I love you, Sid. No, Khan is blankly. You've got to be there. Sid, tell us about today's game. What do you think?
I thought it was fantastic, to be honest. Even when we was defending, we didn't look nervous like we usually do. They looked comfortable, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, comfortable throughout. I really felt.
Yeah.
Where's your Darren Curry shirt?
That's
In the wash. I bet he's washed it out. I bet he's washed it out.
I've got to wash it a little bit because I was wearing it at the time while I was at work, so it's a bit dusty. So.
What a top bloke for doing that, eh? Love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Talk to me about March, Sid, because you've got Accrington and Stanley, Gillingham, Lincoln, who are a top side at the moment, Plymouth, Fleetwood, Portsmouth, top side, Wigan. What do you feel about that month there?
There's more winnable games than there is losses there, I think, or draws. I think it's very
21 points up for grabs. What, do you think we'll get 18?
If they play like they have done today, I cannot see why not.
Crunch, 18 points out of 21. Would you take that? Well, of course you would, but do you think we'll get it?
Right, your arm for it.
Like Lee says, let's take each game as it comes. Let's not get too far ahead because it's easy to look at all these fixtures. It is though, Martin. Look, we go to Accrington on Tuesday. Probably got to be an unchanged team, I would have thought, unless you've got any injuries. I don't see many changes, and I just think. The Matherton one. Talk to me about that because that's got me scratching my head a little bit. He's not even on the bench. I think odd signing.
Yeah, not on the bench, and there wasn't the loan issue either. So it wasn't like we had to sort of not have a loan player within the squad because Thomas wasn't in, and so yeah. Lee, what do you think about that? Well, Matherton nowhere near, Wolfenden nowhere near, McGuinness nowhere near.
I just think he's changed his back too, isn't he? Because we're not passing the ball around the back, we're knocking it up longer, aren't we? And Wilson is just no nonsense. But I think with Matheson we all thought he was going to be brought in to replace Chambers, but clearly not. He's brought in to give Chambers a rest. And so on that, I think if you're looking at the next 3 games, where are we in the next 3 games? How do we manage Parrott? How do we manage Norwood? I mean, Parrott can probably play. He's 18. He could play easily. But how do we manage Norwood? How do we manage Chambers? Can he do Saturday, Tuesday all the time? So Matheson will probably come in at some point. So I don't think he was brought in as a replacement. I think he was just brought in as cover.
Yeah, as I said it before the game, I mean, he came into a defence that was leaking goals. We were a crap team. We couldn't win a game. And all of a sudden, the minute he touches down in Portman Road, our entire season turns around. So, he's going to find it harder to get in the team. And I hope, but these are good problems to have. He can't get in the team because the defence is doing really well. Fantastic. And if that keeps him out of the team for the rest of the season, I mean, sorry, mate. It's football. Then stay out. It means we're doing well. So it might be a fair price to pay.
According to Mark McAdam, according to Mark McAdam from Sky Sports, when he's interviewed Paul Lambert before Radio Suffolk, and he says, I asked Paul Lambert about his future at Ipswich. This was his reply. When there's a takeover, 99% of the time, they bring in a new manager. And he's finished it off by saying, looks like his days at ITFC are coming to an end despite their brilliant recent form. So, not obviously saying there is a takeover, but he's not saying there isn't. Do you think actually, because the remit of the job's changed, Ben, it's not a long-term project anymore for him? So maybe he's just going all for win percentage rate now.
I think the point you made before at half-time is when you've handed in your notice at your job and then you just relax and you're actually probably really good at it because you don't do it with all the tension. I think that's a really great point. I think he knows it's coming to an end. He knows he's not got to stand in front and get, he's going to be scrutinised like he's been for the next 2.5 years if he would ever last that long. He knows he's gone. He's going to, I think Marcus has said, we'll pay you at the end of the season. We'll give you a little lump sum as part of the deal and you can go. And you can see it. You can see it in the way he talks now, I think. He just seems relaxed. That's a man who I see has had the tension just drain away. Look, watch him tonight when he does it. I'm going to really watch him closely. You won't see someone full of tension. He seems jovial almost. I mean, there's, as you said, there is big things gone on, and I think whatever has happened, it's benefited the team. I think it's worked its way down. So, yeah.
And Lee, Ashley Bell says, "Core Lambert's all but confirmed it there. Marco's going to be fuming. He has all but confirmed it there, really, isn't he?"
Yeah.
No F's given from Paul Lambert.
The club have probably confirmed it, because coming out last night saying what they did, if this was just takeover rumours, they wouldn't have come out and said, like, made that statement they did last night.
I think they had to.
Last night was just, that was
Yeah,
child, wasn't it?
They're all on
That was
NDAs.
just
They can't say, if any of them say anything, they're all on NDAs. They'll get sued. That's a typical mergers and acquisitions tactic. You say nothing until the ink's dry. Until it happens, it ain't happening. Yeah, that's basic business when you're doing an acquisition of something. So yeah, it'll just come out at 4 p.m. on a Sunday. We'll just say takeover complete, and that'll be there.
Spring Bean Lambert said it was a mistake to chop and change the team. Then he chopped and changed the team. Lunatic. Matt Stannard says we'll give him a lump sum and first dibs on Hawkins and Drennan. Forget the dibs. I'll drive him with him wherever you want to go. Wherever you want to go, Hawkins, Drennan. I will drive you, fly you, row you, wherever it needs to be. I don't mind. They're two of the worst players I think I've ever seen. Nathan said apparently Brett was watching today. Yeah, I just want to get on with this whole takeover now. Yeah, so do I. Matt Stannard. Yeah, you can't say anything as if there are other shareholders or stakeholders who can change prices and get messy.
Where's that come from? Apparently Brett was watching today. What source is that from?
He liked a tweet.
Yeah.
He liked one tweet.
Someone tweeted, did you see that free kick?
Right,
I
okay.
tweeted that to him and he liked it straight away. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So 21 points, Adam. What do you think we're going to get in the next month?
If you're to believe sort of national media and stuff like that, this takeover could happen in a few weeks. So we might have a new manager in 2 or 3 weeks' time. So the whole dynamic might change. But there's a lot of games. I just think there's a load of sides drop points today, didn't they? I didn't see the full-time results. Did Lincoln drop points? Sunderland were losing, weren't they?
Yeah,
Sunderland lose. Yeah. Charlton got pumped, didn't they, by Blackpool? I think Portsmouth might have dropped some points. So, look, there are lots of games coming thick and fast, and it's going to be the team.
It's going to be the teams that are consistent, I think he's going to say, and momentum, Lee. Like, you want to be building this towards the end of the season, right? This is almost the right time to hit a stride of form and go into April and May.
Absolutely. I mean, there's always one team that comes out the pack, isn't there? There's always one team. And I think, we've always bemoaned, and I've bemoaned the squad. It's been much too much. But when these games are coming thick and fast, people are going to get injuries. It's not just our club, is it? Other clubs are going to get injuries. They're going to lose form. You can see the results that are happening elsewhere. Teams are dropping points everywhere. We shouldn't. Just because you're first, it doesn't mean that if you're playing the bottom of the league in this league, you can get beat.
Or draw 0-0.
It doesn't matter when you get. Sorry, as I say, you're absolutely right. And when the wins come, it doesn't matter. And I think right now is the time to do it. And there's only one important final victory. It's the last one. I'd rather have it. The last thing you do is the thing that gets you in the promotion. If we do it on the last day of the season, and we sneak in there on bloody goal difference, great. But now is the time to start that run.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring anyone in until the end of the season now.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that.
Just leave it, because why would you bring maybe 2 or 3 games to go, perhaps, just to give them a chance to see the players. But whoever does come in, if it's Kirk, whoever, there's a big overhaul needed, isn't there? There's so many players out of contract, and we say it every year. But it's not about just looking at the team that you've got. You've got to build for the future. And whatever happens, whoever comes in, if we're eating hot dogs, popcorn, I'd be great to sit at my chair, at my seat, and get a pork and pie delivered to me. That'd be fantastic. I would love it. So I don't have to queue up at half time.
Cool. Yeah,
going to be getting a turkey leg, Lee. That'll be it. Turkey leg.
That's what we'll be having. That was huge, but massive. I could eat it all, and the cornbread with it as well.
I will throw a turkey leg to Canvas if you're still here. Seems.
Yeah. But we've got to, whatever happens as a fan base, we are the life and soul of the club. We've got to stick together. We've got to stop fighting. Yeah. Whatever happens, whenever someone comes in, we've got to give that person time. And if it's 2 years, 3 years,
I'll give him 6 months.
Check. We have to have a reality check of where we are, and we're stronger when we're all together and the club moves forward. That's just my view.
I love that. That's a great contribution. That's great.
Yep.
That's cool.
Lee, Crunch,
Good
appreciate
spot
you
on,
both. I was Crunch. Have we got anything big on tomorrow?
Yeah, possibly got someone from overseas coming on, and I'm calling out Mike Brown. Come on, where are you?
And Callum needs to remove his cap again, doesn't he? I mean, look
absolutely.
At this, for Christ's sake, mate.
Let's be having you.
Absolutely. Love you both. Love you both. Love you both. Love you both. TJ, welcome in, my man. Mike D says, whoa, hang on. What's in the glass, my friend?
Adnams Ease Up IPA.
Lovely.
Beautiful. I've got a ghost ship chilling at the moment. And that's a beautiful shirt you've got there, sir.
Thanks very much. Here's a little picture for you all. Enjoy.
Absolutely beautiful shirt. So Mike D, what's happened to all these people saying the season is over? Where are they, TJ?
Well, we're 5 points off Pompey with the game in hand, and we've got to play Pompey. So it's in our hands, which we wouldn't have thought a few weeks ago, would we?
No, we would not. No. But what do you put this new resurgence down to? Is it Lambert just saying, fuck it, who gives a shit? Let's go out and win a game, or the player? What do you put it down to?
I ain't got a clue. I don't think any of us really know, but I like it.
I like that. Garlic fries. Garlic fries is Matt Stanley.
Martin, just looking at the table, Hull are third, 56 points. They've played 3 more games than us.
Yep.
And I know, you always want the points in the bag as opposed to the games in hand, but 9-10 points in this league is nothing. With the amount of games that are coming thick and fast, it isn't. Or you would prove we've taken 7 points in a week, Saturday to Saturday. So you can easily make it. You can easily make it up now. And I just think you've got to keep the side as is. Get these combinations working.
How huge, Adam, was the Norwood post hit? How huge could that prove? Because that could have been an even better week.
Well, if you'd have said 9 points from those 3 games, I think beforehand, most people would have thought you were stark raving fucking mad, wouldn't they? But there you go.
10 games ago, if we just said that we'd have been sitting here having these conversations about realistic permutations of actually doing something incredible, you'd have said you're mad, you're off your rocker, and yet here we are on a good run of form with some real possibilities and inroads to the playoffs. I would have said this was some sort of drug-induced dream 10 games ago, and yet here we sit. How wonderful is that anyway? I mean, just to have the conversation, okay, if it all implodes, at least we've touched a little bit of happiness. At least
I tell you what really worries me.
You can't. Got to go for it, Martin. You've got to go for it now. There's no point, to say we can all sit here and moan and whinge about Lambert, whinge about Evans, but look, fuck this. Let's just win as many games as we can and see where we end up.
What really worries me, though, TJ, is there's no depth in the key area, and that's strikers. If James Norwood feels a twinge tomorrow morning, we're back to Drennan and Sears. That scares the life out of me.
Yeah, I looked at our bench and I went, what the hell?
Yeah, and that's why they were subbed. That's exactly why they were subbed off, and that was why it was a damn good decision. And that will pay dividends, not in this game, but maybe in about 5 games' time.
TJ, he needs to make it up with Caden Jack. I don't care why or how or when, but you can't keep going forward. Bye, Adam. You can't keep going forward with Drennan and Sears being your depth players.
I agree. I think I missed the first part, so I'm sure we talked about whether the ownership's going to change or if Paul Cook's going to come in. But if he does come in, he can rectify that relationship, get 2 of our better players in, and then we're set. I know Lambert's had a good week, but we need to look at it as a whole and go, he's not had a good 2.5 years. So if we change now, we're still in a good position. So I think get the new manager in, get the better players back. Our bench looks better, and we're not left with Sears, Drennan, and Stephen Ward knocking about in the last 10 minutes, which is not what you need. Like I said on the chat as well, I don't know why McGuinness or Wolfenden are not on the bench over Ward. They can probably slot it to left back, but they're also centre backs as well. They'll probably give us more up front. I don't know what the reasoning is there. It's not long term thinking, so we need to change it up.
Sean Gladden asked to all of the panel, do you think we can go up? Sid, do you think we can go up this year? Are you believing again?
It has got me believing, yeah, but I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket at the minute.
TJ?
Yes, absolutely.
Love it. Love it. Sid, appreciate your brother. Look after yourself. Thoughts on Lambert's comments? I've not quite got them yet. They're coming through to me soon. Once I've got them, I will share them with you. Adam, I love your brother, but your internet is worse than mine. Let's look at some player ratings now. Move on a little bit. So, Thomas Holy in goal. How do we feel he played today, guys?
Good game.
Sorry, 50p in the meter for the internet. Christ almighty. It's on its last legs at the moment, I tell you.
Happens.
Yeah.
I think Holy, it's a great person. Holy, I thought actually had a good game today. I thought he took hold of the ball more in the air, stopped some good shots coming towards him. You can't really question his where he was for the goal, because he was standing on this near post. He was making himself wide, and it was a good finish. I think that would have gone through most keepers. But he's coming for a bit of criticism lately, and rightly so. But I actually think today, he wasn't fantastic, but I just felt a little bit more safe. And that ain't a bad thing for your goalkeeper.
Out of 10? Out of 10? What would you give him?
6.93.
Oh, all right. Oh, calm down over there, John Barrowman.
Way beyond anything a bit, but that's about right, I think.
TJ, Luke Chambers, coming for a lot of criticism, but today I feel he had a fairly solid game.
He was steady. I think he gets the same as Holy, to be honest, about 7.5 for me. I think he was steady, if not spectacular, but that's kind of what you need. I mean, we've got it on Kenlock's side where we're going to get the attacking sense, but Chambers kind of pivots that and makes it a bit more defensive. So it's okay. It will do a job.
Do you think he was let down by Bennett a few times in that second half?
Yeah, well, he keeps giving the ball away, and it lets Doncaster attack and like any other team attack, and so that's why we keep. That's our come down really, is we give the ball away up front, and we've got more of an attacking mindset, which is really good, but we're not learning that's going to shoot us in the foot at some point going forward.
Yeah, 2 centre halves, Flatty, Joker. What? Big Toto, James Wilson. Wow,
I think they're exactly what you need at this level, aren't they? They're exactly what you need. They'll head it, block it, tackle, and then they'll give the ball to someone that can do the football for them. They are, as I say, they're not being asked to do anything that they're not comfortable with. I don't think it's a surprise that you see our form slightly uptick with Wilson in the team. I just think he's a steady Eddie. He's a steady Eddie at the back. Yeah. Enciala obviously enjoys playing alongside him. I thought they were really good today. I think you have to give Alderback for a shout out today. I thought they were good. They had to concentrate for large parts of that second half. Didn't have any of the ball, and they stuck at it. So I'd say 7, 8 out of 10. Both of them played really well.
There was instances in I think it was the second half, maybe in the first, where the ball came over and Wilson just headed it away. And you're so used to seeing these days players bring it down and try and do something with it, and it was just refreshing and surprising to see a player just head it clear and just like, you know what? It's League One. Just get rid of it. Clear your lines, as they used to say.
Exactly.
How about Miles Kenlock? Christopher Martin says Kenlock is our recent upturn personified, looking much more confident, composed, and creative. Ben, he has been a revelation at left back.
Kenlock, probably my player of the season.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. The guy, and I know he's only played for a little bit of it, but it's more from where he's come from. Because I used to look at him and think, God Almighty, I wonder if I'll remember that name in 2 or 3 years' time. Oh God, I remember Kenlock. He was awful, but he has come back. I think he's put on a bit of weight, and he's just consistently good. That's why he's in the team. It's why there's players around him that can't get into his position. So keep it, fight for it. He, as I think you quite correctly said, he is the kind of the counterbalance to Chambers, whereas he will bomb up the wing. He's got the pace, the speed, the aggression. He will support even the centre forwards if he gets far enough up the pitch. Chambers won't do that, and defence is all about balance. He's got that little bit of Michael Finch, what I said there, muscle. That's what is good old-fashioned League One muscle, and a little bit of speed as a cherry on top. That's a great defender.
Few Paul Lambert comments coming through before we go into midfield and defence. He says that we played some great stuff today, defending strongly. When the bigger players came back, it'll be different. Loads of football to be played. I'll write, and he's got Bishop's been playing well. Expect nothing else for performances. About the takeover, he says you better ask Marcus if you can get hold of him, which is quite an interesting comment. That's a slight dig there, isn't it, TJ? If you can get hold of the guy.
Saucy.
Get him gone. I mean, we've had a good week. Just get him out the building. I mean, we don't need either of them at the minute. We don't need any more bitching between owner and manager. Just give us a new.
It gets worse. It gets worse. Wait for this.
Oh,
Doesn't know much other than us. Paul Cook must have been sat in my office. Club certainly needs a takeover investment help badly. 99% I'm not going to be here. That's football. Shame not to complete the project. You'll have to ask Marcus. I wonder why he doesn't speak to you. I'll go home for a nice beer.
99%. How? 99% he'll not be here because that comment says 99% he will be here.
This is what I've been saying. 99% I'm not going to be here.
I think that comment's wrong, Ben. I think Martin's probably got the comments there.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's scorched earth now, isn't he, old Lambert? He don't care anymore. He's just he's got the flamethrower out now, isn't he? He's torching everyone and anyone is in the way. They're getting laid to waste, aren't they?
He needs to remember the circumstances when he came in. We had a project under Paul Hurst. It didn't work out. He was sat in Paul Hurst's office probably 2 months before, ready to take the gig. So,
good boy.
I love this, though. I love this. I wonder why he doesn't speak to you. I'll go home for a nice beer. Like, that's just like a complete and utter throw you under the truck.
Well,
he's having fun.
Right there, enjoying it. Lee's right there, though, isn't he? Paul Hurst said the same about Marcus Evans. It's been a common factor throughout any manager's career with Ipswich. He doesn't say anything, does he? He doesn't come out and say anything. That's one thing. One good can come from this takeover. There'll be lots of good things that come, but communication out of the football club has got to be so much better. Mm-hmm. You know, and the thing is, Martin, you've probably got a better chance of getting that American guy on this show than you have Marcus Evans, and that's a sad state of affairs, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? You got a better chance of getting him on here to talk to him. Well, Leo Milne or whatever his name is, they blur into one. Them guys.
Yeah, they're just like this kind of non-entity, like a cloud.
Ashley Bell said he quite likes this version of Lambert. I've got to be honest. So, he's a big wrestling fan.
I want to have a beer with him and say, okay. Go for it.
As a big wrestling fan, it's like he's turned heel, Adam. He's gone to the dark side. You know what I mean? It's brilliant.
Lambert's gonna get us promoted just to spite everyone that hates him.
Hey, Celtic, here I am. Remember me? Yeah.
Ashley Bell, I've done my Saturday shift. Now it's beer time.
That's it. It's spot on.
For a beer.
He's spot on. He's in. He's like I said. He's noticed, or his contracts are going to be terminated, and he's just seeing out his last few days in the sun, isn't he? Is exactly what he's doing.
I just love the whole. I wonder why he doesn't speak to you. Like, and you have to ask Marcus if you can get hold of him. And he literally couldn't kick Marcus in the ribs anymore if he tried.
It's like, you know, imagine you've been at a job you absolutely hate, and you're just about to clock out for the last time, and just before you do, you go and take a shit in the sink. That's exactly what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
I love it. Daniel Barnard, thanks for tuning up today, Gov. No problem. We aim to please on this show. Us Lamberts are very forthright and honest, as it's proven today. Harry Butcher, do you think he'll be here? Look, Harry, I think he's here until the owners come in. Marcus is not going to want to part with the money out of his own bank balance when somebody else coming in will do it for him. You know, it's like the house down. It's like the house down, Adam. Your gutter's fallen down. You're selling your house. You're like, well, I could fix it.
Just get it sold. Just get it over the line. That's why nobody can get hold of Lambert. He's furious, Evans. He's furiously trying to get this fucking deal done so he can get the hell out of Dodge. That's what he's trying to do, isn't it? I think he can't wait. He can't wait to leave quick enough. Marcus Evans, I think he's desperate to get out. I reckon, and he is. Oh yeah, I think that's where we're at with it at the moment. He is absolutely gunning to get at this football club.
So based on those messages, when you see James Norwood tweet like he just has done, where he ends it with starting to build something, are we starting to build something, or is this the end of something? And actually, this is, you know, if we get promoted, brilliant. But actually, it's actually the transition, as I've been saying all year, but in another way now, transitional year, and we're not building something. We're just kind of plodding, and if we go up, brilliant. Right.
It could mean we've just scored 2 goals in a game. I mean, that's building something for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it a bit like when the team gets relegated? You know, imagine you're fighting relegation all season, and 8 games before the end, you get relegated. It's usually then you start picking up points because all the pressure off, isn't it? You know, it kind of feels like a bit what this is.
I don't know how you build anything with 6 loanies in the squad. That's just the first thing. I don't know how you start sort of building from there. And with so many players out of contract, it's difficult to start a process now, isn't it? I think so. We'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Okay.
Never a dull moment, though, Martin. Never a dull moment at this football club. Hey?
Never. And I tell you what, we'll be here every step of the bloody way, live and exclusively coming to you on YouTube. Yes. I love it. Right. Well, and Facebook, so not quite exclusive. Don't sue me on that word. Right. Midfield. Bennett. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I like Bennett. Sometimes he frustrates the life out of me. Sometimes he excites me. He makes me feel something as a fan. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think it's the dad joke with him. I keep calling him Gordon Bennett, but I don't know why. That's just me being childish.
That's the dad joke. That is the dad joke. Andre Dazelle. He came off today. It's not often you've seen Andre come off. I thought again today, flashes, but mostly anonymous. Ben, what did you think about Andre?
Yeah, I think he actually had a very good game today. I actually think he looked a bit more. I was thinking it's knocked off the ball a bit powder puff, but I think he looked a bit more solid today, and I do think it showed that we missed him when he went off. I will give him a solid 8 today. I think he done really well. So
Andre Dazelle?
Yeah, I do. I think he done really well, because you noticed the difference when he went off. 100%. Yeah.
8.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8.
So far, Andre Dazelle is your man of the match.
Oh, my man of the match. No, so
no. But so far, out of what we've done, he would be your man of the match so far.
No, Kenlock could be my man of the match so far.
What did you give Kenlock?
What did I give Kenlock today?
Yeah.
8.5.
Okay. Maybe a 9 in 4 beers time. TJ, talk to me about Teddy Bishop.
Streets, I remember that.
God. Bishop gets us 7. I think he was fine. He's the one who keeps us driving forward from the centre. Bennett is the one who actually drives it from the wing. But the most annoying thing about Bennett is he hasn't got anything to. He doesn't know what he's going to do straight after. I feel like Bishop kind of knows what he's going to do. He doesn't always pull it off, but at least he tries. So I think he gets a steady 7. Not spectacular today, but I think he'll be absolutely fine going forward.
Alan the Wand Judge Flatty.
I think he's coming into a bit of form now, isn't he, Alan Judge? He's trying to play quite well. No surprise he was hauled off to protect him for Accrington. And really good free kick. As I say, I don't think we've had a decent free kick taker since Jimmy Wan. Remember him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He could take a free kick, couldn't he? But yeah, no, it's good. It's good to have something else like that in your arsenal where you've got a player that's got that ability from a dead ball. But yeah, no, he's good. His set pieces look like they're a lot better, and he looks like he's more sort of trying to get into the box to score goals. So it's good.
Look who's turned up today. Yeah. Look who's turned up. Look. First of all, remove that hat. Kelly. That hat does not need to be on. Come on, we're on a game of football here. Get the hat off.
There you are.
Good man. That's beautiful hair. If I had hair like that, I'd be flashing it every time, mate.
No, it used to be a 4-head, but now it's like a 5-head. So we cover it up at the moment. I thought it was a great game of soccer.
Tell us what you thought about today's game, then, Kelly. What did you think?
We're getting those decisions, and we're getting all those little bits where we didn't have any. We always moaned at the rest. We moaned at the luck we were getting. You talk about the Sunderland game, the Dazelle sending off. When we was up obviously away then. We've had a few little bits like that, and today it was like things were going our way. Even when we conceded, I still didn't think we'd lose. Even though we didn't look like scoring again, I just thought we had enough there to just stop them scoring again. And it was, the chance where the man hit it against Toto, that block or whatever, 6 weeks ago. That's gone in the back of the net.
Talk to me about your man Toto, Kelly, because you're a big fan of him. You know him a little bit. Tell me about him.
He's a good player. Like, I rate him. I mean, obviously I know him as a person, but then I've got my Ipswich hat on, so to speak, as well. And obviously, he does get his critics and stuff, but he's a player that he's a no-nonsense defender. So him and Wilson work really well together. trying to pair them up and trying to get them to do something that they're not comfortable with. You know, they're professional footballers; they can still pass around, but it's not second nature to them. So when when they make a mistake or whatever, if they're used to playing their natural game, then it's easier to, you know, you look at the positions they're both in today. Every ball that come in, cross or whatever, Wilson was on the end of it, Toto was on the end of it. It was just cleared. You know, there was none of this, right, let's poke it around or whatever. It was, right, hoof it upfield, put it into the channels. You know, it was like, dare I say, it was like the Mick days. You know, McCarthy type of. It was a Mick McCarthy type of win.
Bear and Smith at the back.
Well, that was it. Hoof it up, run into the channels. You know, we used to have Sears doing that when he was, you know, had a bit more pace about him before or whatever. Bennett's, I think, you know, there is a player there, but he's just. I think he's running out of time because the season's coming towards an end. Our front three look like they're clicking. So someone said that earlier. I agree that the front three look like they're clicking, or even the front four now. And it's like, that was what's missing. Our defence, you know, we haven't got the worst defence. Our defensive midfield stuff hasn't been the worst. It was that creativity which is missing. And now all of a sudden, it seems to be clicking.
Yep. Apparently, Jacob Farrow, did you hear McCarthy's interview today? He swore at the media. Okay, well, I'll try and dig that out. Good old Mick, he's back. Carl Brooks, I think if Toto cut out the mistakes or the rash moments, he'd be one of the best, if not the best in the league. Yeah, I've been a big fan of Toto's for a while. Let's move forward to Norwood and Parrott then, guys. Callie, you can join us because I think Adam's got TJ's internet there because TJ, last time he was on, had to bow out early as well. So, first of all, Parrott, still without a goal, works hard. What do we feel about him today, Callie? Were you impressed? Want more?
He reminded me of, like, he did well on Tuesday. I thought he did well on Tuesday. I thought he did well on this first game he played for us, and I got a bit excited about it. And then he just went pony, and it was like, I'm quick to write players off. I admit that. So I just like, bin him, put him in the bin or whatever. But actually, he looks like, whether it's the link up with Judge, whether it's the link up with Lee's man, I don't say his name, fuck it, Norwood or whatever. Whether it's the link up with him, something's clicking with him, and he carries that ball forward for us. Before we were just camping our own half. Now all of a sudden we got players that are carrying the ball. Same with Bennett's. I mean, I know we weren't talking about Bennett's, but just quickly on Bennett's again, he was someone carrying the ball forward. We've got Edwards coming back now as well. Edwards, for me, I still think he was in the purple patch. And I think this is Edwards. You know, head down, doesn't really looks at his feet more than looks up or whatever. But they were impressive, and you know, Lee's man scored. I can't really fault him. You know,
okay. Parrott, out of 10, what would you give him?
Out of 10, solid 6.5, 7. No. You know, he didn't do anything amazing. But didn't do anything bad. He just he gave us an outlet, which is something that we've been lacking. I think Norwood, I'd give him a 7.5, possibly an 8 as well, because he does hassle defenders. I do get what, you know, Lee and everyone else says on that, and you know, credit to him for doing his best Drinnan impression off the goal. We're sliding into the back of the net.
Where do you sit on this one, TJ? Because you're wearing the fantastic shirt there. Kev Sherwood, Troy Parrott reminds me of James Scowcroft. That's a big comparison.
Oh, he's a little bit before my time, and I don't like to say that.
You can't say that wearing a shirt like that. Ben, I'm sure Ben's not looking at Ben and the Just for Men up there.
Yeah, I only ever wear black. The Scowcroft comparison, I know what you mean. Not an out-and-out striker's going to bang in 20, but brings the rest in around you. And I would say, as he has, and I agree with Callie, as I will give him a solid sort of, you know, a good 6.5, 7 today. Because and one of those points is because he's made Norwood better. And I will think that if the trade-off from a good partnership is one doesn't score goals but he lets the other one do it, you keep them together, you play them every game. So I would think he's done good. He's got no final ball. I don't care. Don't have one. But bring up the play with you and make the Norwood next to you better. You've done enough for me.
Doesn't it frustrate? Sorry, I was just going to say, isn't it frustrating though, in the fact that you see in Norwood now, we've been told we're not playing 2 up front, so we've got the 3 up front. Now you got Parrott closer to Norwood. But every time he's had Jackson and he's shifted him out into the wing, why not? Why did he never try that? We could have had another 20 points on the board possibly, you know, if we maybe tried that earlier in the season. It's all shoulda, woulda, coulda, isn't it? But,
yeah, absolutely. Stephen Parry, Scully had more goals in him. Ashley Bell, Bennett needs time, which is a lone player maybe he hasn't afforded. He was a Spurs, didn't work out. Sold to a German club, didn't work out. Back to League One. The guy's confidence at zero. Completely agree with you there, Ashley. I really do. I said that before the game. We need to give him a run of games. Facebook user Sco was unreal in the air. Michael Finch, when Nord and Parrott weren't off, we struggled to hold the ball up. Sears and Drinnan, they're just shy. They're just shy.
And that's the rest of the players that do nothing else than to make sure that those two attackers start that next game fit. That's the only reason that happened. And putting them two on is better than nothing. So yeah,
I still think under the right circumstances you could get something out of Freddie. You could get 20 minutes out of him, a good 20 minutes.
Get 20 quid.
No, but like, well, I can't remember what game it was, but I can't remember which one it was. And we were at home recently, and he come on towards the end of it. Was it the Sunderland game? Maybe he come on towards the end, and he actually looked like doing something. No, actually, no. It was him and John Nolan come on, because I remember John Nolan had a shot and we were laughing.
Oh, we are talking months ago then, because John Nolan's been in the doghouse for several months.
But it comes back to exactly what you're saying about Bennett. It's about confidence, runner games, and everything. Yeah. Sears can find the goal. Drinnan, he needs to go to League Two on loan, or Vanarama or something. He needs to do something. He's not ready to be in the round first squad.
Dog and duck, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, no. Me and Aaron Drinnan, we've started this from the start of the season when everyone was going, oh, he looks quite decent. I'm saying, no, he's not. But there we go. Anyway, James Norwood, I've got a stat for you, right? So Lee Anderson, sit up, take notice. You might like this one. James Norwood now has 5 goals so far this season. Since January 2021, 9 appearances, 4 goals, 1 assist. Just how vital, Ben, has James Norwood really been to this team?
Yeah, as a footballer, I think he has been. When he's been fit, he has been a good footballer, I think. I mean, certainly from the strikers we have, I don't think there's any argument that he's the best of the bunch. And that's not to say in the next few years, if we start ascending, we'll get better. But for the moment, yeah, I would say he's the best player we have at what he does. Jackson, I'm not convinced with Jackson. I think he's a potential there. But if it's still potential at his age, then I've got to wonder if it's going to come or not. But yeah, I mean, I would say Norwood, with a good partner, he's the best we've got. So
absolutely, yeah. Lee Anderson, boom. Mike D, it's the reason he was brought in. Stephen Parry, better stats. I'll bow to that. And closing games of goal will count. Yeah, TJ, how good was he today?
Who, Norwood?
Yeah,
excellent. What I like as well is I think, in this league and the championship, you need a shithouse striker, or a shithouse who's gonna the opposite. Yeah, Joe Garner. Since with Joe Garner, James Norwood's finally turned into that, I think. But we've got 2 of them now, and they're both playing together. And I think what we're seeing is we've got Parrott, who can do that role, but has the technical side and can bring people in a bit better than Norwood. But Norwood is the muscle, and he can win the free kicks. And I think the pair of them are just working so well. And I didn't think that's what we needed, but I think it's going to work for us going forward.
Absolutely, yeah. Callie, what would you give him today out of 10? Yeah, I thought he was our best player on the pitch today. I thought he held it up. He won it.
He was a good player on the pitch. He wasn't the best player on the pitch, not my player.
He won every single battle against these 2 centre halves. He won. He bullied them at some points in that game.
He did his
bullied them.
So he did his job, is what you said to me.
Which is what every player you could say. Yeah,
no. I agree, but then to say you're the player of the match is you go above and beyond just doing your job. His job is to score. His job is to score goals and to hassle defenders as a one up top. He did his job. I'm not going to bash Norwood. He scored a goal and it was a decisive goal to take us 3 points. And I've literally taken my hat off. Obviously, we won, but he's doing it, and I agree with what Lee was saying. But to say he was the best player on the pitch is a bit of a stretch. I know. I agree with what Ben was saying about Dazelle. I thought he was actually really impressive, right? I thought Bish had a good game. Obviously, I thought Toto and Wilson were really good as well. Even the goal was, not a lot they could do on that one. I'm going to be critical on Holy there, but, maybe it's Ken Lock was sleeping as well. But whatever. But, again, it's a solid we conceded, but it's a solid defensive performance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Creativity. We scored 2 goals. Great. We found a way to score. We've got corners that are beating the first men all of a sudden. We're scoring a free kick. Adam said it earlier, we'll probably get a penalty on the last day of the season. So, things look like they're turning, but no, I don't think Norwood was the best player. He was up there, probably best 3.
Okay.
I think.
So, is Andre your man of the match?
No.
Who's your man of the match?
My man of the match is going to be
Bishop. Okay. Guys in the chat, get your man of the matches in. TJ, who's your man of the match today?
Norwood. But I also think Holy needs a shout out because of where he's come from, and he was very decisive today. And I think that probably
Can we just stop this pod here? Who would have ever thought 6 months ago someone would be saying man of the match is possibly Holy?
Possibly. I didn't say he was.
No, I'm just saying it's credit to him. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
He
Ben?
did make stops.
Kenlock for me wasn't. I don't think he's been as brilliant as he's been, but against the side that was against him, so against that attacking Doncaster and the quality of players they've got, I thought he was. He was even. That was a really good performance from him, because if he was going to be undone, it was going to be today, and he wasn't. So it's a personal one, because it's really arguable today. You could say Norwood, you could say Judge, and actually Bishop's a damn close second. But a personal one, yeah, it's Kenlock. Yeah.
Okay. Honest Abe says Bish, Kev Sherwood, both Dezel and Bishop don't so much. Donkey work today. Matt Stannard, Bishop, Harrison Yates, Bishop man of the match. Christopher Martin, Norwood man of the match. Wilson and Toto, joint man of the match there. Wilson, Parrott. So really, what I'm getting from the fan base and you guys here is a real team performance today. You could pick out 4 or 5 players and say best player on the pitch, but really they all played outstandingly well and nullified a decent Doncaster team. Yeah.
Well, like 4 games ago, 4 games ago, everyone was playing at like a level 4, 5s, and 6s out of 10s is what you realistically giving people. Now all of a sudden, over the last 3 games, right? All of a sudden, we're at that levels 6, 7s, and 8s, and so the levels have improved. And maybe it's the I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's the fact that Lambert has said, I'm cushy, I can do what I want. It doesn't matter, because when I leave now, it's not because I get sacked. It's because there's been a takeover, so I'm still looked employable.
Absolutely. Right. Well, we're done for today's show. Thank you all so much for joining me on the show. TJ, Ben, and Adam Flapp, and of course, Callie, Lee, everybody else who's joined me. Thank you all for those in the comments. Christopher Martin, one last comment. Love that 4 or 5 players being credited having played well. We've hit form bang at the right time. Absolutely spot on. We'll unpack this more tomorrow at 1:30 with the Cruncher and the Media Mogul, with a special guest potentially joining us from overseas. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one. But we're live from 1:30 on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Until then, Town of One again. We'll see you tomorrow with Love with Kev.